All right, so good morning. We continue from where we stopped yesterday. So yesterday we talked about, I said audio can be divided into three parts: input, processing, and output. I mean, that may not be like a standard classification, but I just want to use that to explain and guide our thoughts as I show you the basics of music production, and I take you from a beginner to a pro. All right, so we talked about mic input, we'll talk about input sources, talk about microphone and auxes, like your keyboard, your phone, how you can get in sound from those sources. And I gave you assignments and you have given me feedback of the assignment. That's good. So the only part you didn't give me feedback on is the gain staging. Gain staging. I said you should read up about gain staging. I guess you forgot, but you are pardoned. At least you did most of the assignment, so it's easy to pardon you on that. Let me just set this input in case we need to use it. All right. Okay. So, also. All right. So let's go into the. Before we go to processing, let's go into the DAW today, so I can show you how to route signals inside the DAW. So the next time we meet, we'll talk about, after we've gotten how to route signals, how to get sound into the DAW, then we'll now start talking about the processing, from editing to mixing, then to mastering. Okay. Before we'll now talk about outputs, how to route sounds to different. I'm just trying to look at how to combine both, so you have an understanding of both when we apply it live and when we apply it in the studio. So you have a basic understanding of that. So let me open up Cubase. I use Cubase, like I said. There are other DAWs that you can use, but I use Cubase. So you launch the application. All right. So when you have this screen, all you will do is, let's create a new project. These are the projects I've done before. Yes. So I can select from here. I can say open order. That is, maybe I have a particular file saved on my system that I want to open, but it's not in that list. I can go to others. Then if I want to open a new project, I can just say new project. So here, templates. These are templates that Cubase already made, but I don't want to use any of them. All these templates were like these 16 MIDI tracks. That means it already have, let me just go ahead. So it already have 16 MIDI tracks already that you can, and you can save your own templates too. We'll get to that, but let me just open an empty project. So this next part is set project folder. Now, if you know how to use system very well, you know that when you copy files from one place, you can copy file from a place, from one location on the system to another. And if you cut, you take that file away. Now, if you are using Microsoft Word, for instance, when you are working on your Microsoft Word, the file that is saved in that file that you saved as Microsoft Word will not delete if you want to delete it. So this software, it creates its own files, but so that you don't mistakenly delete a file that you are supposed to use, so that you don't delete its files. You get, when you, for instance, when you record audio, it will create that audio file in a folder. Yeah. So it will just represent it by waves on the DAW, but it will create the folder. So if you delete that file, it would no longer have any file to reference to. So it will ask you to set a project folder. So I created a folder yesterday, teaching Odroayo. So that means if I save this work into this folder, all the audios that we record in this project will be saved in this folder. So I know that if I need space on my system and I need to delete stuff, if I have not concluded the works I've done in this folder, I won't delete. Then if I finish this project, I've already exported it, I already have my finished product, and I feel I don't need the raw files again, I can know, okay, this is the exact project I need to delete. It's just for, it makes your work easier and it makes you work better. All right, so let me select teaching Odroayo. All right, so we have the interface. So I won't bore you with going through all of these things, what they do one by one. As we go along from editing to mixing to mastering, we'll touch almost all of the tools on the taskbar. Is it taskbar now or on the title bar or something? All right, so all right, so first thing, to save. Now, the fact that you have set the project folder does not mean you have saved the file. So you still need to press Ctrl S. Good. So let me overwrite this file that I wrote before. All right, so we are starting teaching Odroayo afresh. All right, so now I said I want to talk about input. Now, there are what we call drivers, audio drivers on the system, audio driver. So, sorry. What the audio driver does is it allows the computer, that's your computer, to communicate with audio devices. Do you get? Whether it's connected through your audio ports, or it's connected through USB, or it's connected through Firewire. Now, I remember I told you that this, our other M audio, it connects through Firewire. So whichever way it's connected, whichever way it's connected, the audio drivers is what controls how your system interacts with the DAW. So yeah, your system interacts with audio interfaces. Now, what I would do is I would change from different audio, I'll change different drivers. So I will show you the benefit of each one. Now, there are some audio devices, audio interfaces rather, that have their own software. So when you buy it, you have to install the software. There are some that are just plug in and play, plug and play. Like this one now, it doesn't have its own software. It's just plug and play. It works. But that M Audio Pro Firefire 2626 has its own software. If you don't install the software on the system, the audio interface will not work with the system. So now for the system itself, like the native driver, there is this for my system, for my kind of system. There is, and it has, each system, they might name it, it might have a different name, do you get? But it would have something that does what this one do too. This issue, okay, this issue direct. Let me put my system sound in. I want to put my system sound in the, I want to put it on, I want to send my system sound to the audio interface. So I've sent my system sound to the audio interface. All right. So when you are using this issue direct, this issue DirectX full duplex driver, your system sound would be working. Let me show you an example. If I play something, where is it? Okay, let me play this sound, this. You can see that it's sounding from the speakers that is connected to the audio interface. It's working, right? So let me do something. Let me change it to, let me close this and change it to issue for all. Okay. So let me try and play it. Can see that it's not working. Now, issue for all, coming. Okay, when you use issue for all, and you set it to use this audio interface, your system speaker, your system, any other sound on your system cannot use the audio interface while you are using issue for all. Do you get? But if I change it back to DirectX, the interface is still part of the devices selected, but my system can still use the audio sound. That's one difference between this DirectX and issue for all. Now, this DirectX, the buffer size. Now, what do we call buffer? There's something we call latency. Latency is the time difference between when you input your source and when it comes back out. When you input, difference between when you input the source and when it comes back out. So let me set an audio. Let me set as if I want to record. Let me create a track. Okay, so I have to select the microphone I want to use. I will explain these ones. I just want you to follow. I just want you to understand the difference between. You can already see that it's already indicating there in this meter when I talk.
Yes.
All right, good. So I'm going to set my audio interface to receive, to not feedback from my mic directly, but to feedback from the sound that is entering through my system. You know, as I'm talking, it's also entering my system, right? So I'm going to set. All right. Okay, good. You can hear it now from the, you can see that it's already showing here. But what do you notice?
Is it going?
Yes. Aside from that, when I speak, I would have finished speaking before you hear it. That's latency. So the distance between when I talk and when it eventually comes out. Now, let me now change it to issue for all. All right. Can see it's almost the same as when I'm talking. The latency is very minimal compared to the first one. That's the time difference between when I talk and when the speaker receives it. So now let me go back to the normal audio from here. All right. Okay, so as I was saying, all right, you understand what I'm saying now. Now, when we record in the studio, there are different kinds of recordings that we do. For instance, yesterday I recorded a radio program where the preacher only talked. I didn't need to play anything out for him to talk on. Yes. Are you getting me? He just spoke. I can decide to use issue DirectX to record that because there is no latency is not a problem in that kind of scenario. It's just one person. Yeah. Do you get? But imagine, okay, let me change it back to issue DirectX and let me do something. Let me try to record music and part it. I will never let the devil win the battle. I will never compromise with him. Though he may fight me within, though he may fight me without, I will never let the devil win. Let's say I want to harmonize this, what I sang before. So I create another track. Of course, what I'm playing before will play out. So I will never let the devil. Let me change it. Okay, no. So, oh, sorry. I also made. I didn't pick my audio from here. So that's something you have to check your input and be sure that you are routing from. This one now was my laptop speaker. That's why the audio is like that. Imagine that. That's my audio. That's my from the system. Let me now I've changed it to the audio from the audio interface. Let me now re-record it. Let me just mute this. I will never let the devil win the battle. I will never compromise with him. Though he may fight me within, though he may fight me without, I will never let the devil win. Now I want to harmonize this. I'm still using HO DirectX. So let me record. I will never let the devil win the battle. I will never compromise with him. Though he may fight me within, though he may fight me without, I will never let the devil win. Okay, let me now play it back. Let me play it back. Never let the devil win the battle. I will never compromise with him. Though he may fight me within. What do you notice?
On is slow.
Yes. It's not in sync. It's not in sync. It's not sync. So let me just leave this one. Let me just change it to HO for all. Alright, so I need to go back to my inputs and see that I select HO for all. Okay, so let me just create another track. So now it's on HO for all. Let me record again. I would never let the devil win the battle. I will never compromise with him. Though he may fight me within, though he may fight me without, I will never let the devil win. All right, let me play back. I would never let the devil win the battle. I will never compromise with him. Though he may fight me within, though he may fight me without, I will never let the devil win. So you can see that the latency is very minimal. Do you get? When you are using HO4, that's why if you are not using the software that comes with the audio interface itself, then if you are recording music, do you get? You should be using HO4all. Do you get? But if you want to record maybe a speech or something that you don't have to record over and over again, it's just once it's recorded once, that's it. You can just use that HO DirectX. Don't forget that when you are using it, now you can still set the latency. For instance, when you click on this HO4 and go to control panel, you can this buffer size is what we call the latency. It's on 256 now. I can set it to lower. 64 is the lowest. But the lower you go, the more system resources it will need. The lower you go, the lower the latency. But the more system resources, like your CPU power and your GPU power, the more CPU power you will need to process audio. Let me see if it will work now. I would never let. Okay, it's still playing well. But when I started adding instruments and all of that, to just start doing crack, 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 once it exceeds my CPU power. So for my system, I found a sweet spot. I think that 256 works for my system. At least many of the songs I've produced, they don't sound crack, 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 crack. That is, I don't exhaust my CPU power while producing them, and I use instruments and all of that. But there are still some instruments that if I want to use them, I'll have to like go higher. Do you get? Or another thing we do is when you are recording, you can mute some instruments. You can just, once you are done with all your instruments, then you can take the latency higher when you are not recording anything again. Once it's just to mix, you can take the latency to, you can bring it up so that your system resources will be freed and you can hear the exact quality of the audio you are making. Yeah. So now in Cubase, this is where we set the, under devices, you come to device setup. That's where you select the software you want, the driver you want to use rather. If you come under this VST audio system, you see the HO driver, you see the different drivers that are here. These other two drivers, this FL Studio HO driver is FL Studio driver. It doesn't work inside the Cubase. This generic low latency HO driver too. I've used this sometimes, but the ones I use most is this HO DirectX and HO4all. HO4all, when you are singing, when you are doing music, always use HO4all, or use the software that comes with the audio interface and then find the latency spot that works for your system. So after setting the HO driver, then you now still need to set then you go to VST connections and set the input and output. So for instance, this audio interface has 2 channels. Do you get? So there are 2 ways I can bring it in. I can bring it in as stereo, that's left and right. Do you get? This is left audio device 1, right audio device 2, left 1, right 2. I can bring it in as mono. I already told you what mono is yesterday, right? Yes, mono is 1 channel, while stereo is 2 channels. So I can select mono and select 2. So you can see that it already populated the devices itself. USB audio 1, USB audio 2. So if I want to use, so if I'm using mono there, then I should create mono tracks too. Depends on what you want to do. If you are just recording one straight listen, you can use stereo track. But if you are like, it depends. If I want to record music now as I am, like, I can use mono track. So here, this is where you set which input will enter this track. So let me put this one in 2. Remember that 2 is the second one. Yes. So if I record now, let me play a loop from here. I would never let stop there. Hallelujah, no go finish from my mouth. Oh. The goodness of Jesus cannot finish from my tongue. Oh. So you can see from the. All right, you can already see that. Hallelujah, no go he recorded the two on different tracks. This is the loop. This is the voice. And that's what you want to do when you are recording music. You want to have, because when you are mixing, you want to have complete control on each of the channels. If I record both of them together, that would mean that if I'm increasing the loop, I'm already increasing. You want to have each track, each instrument on a different track so that you have full control on it. Hallelujah, no go finish. So now let me go back to that DirectX. So if you click on it, you can select the audio interfaces that are available that you want to use. Now this Go Stream, this is the video mixer, is also available here. If I want to use it, maybe I want to bring the sound from it into Cubase, I can select it. Okay, under these microphones. Okay, it's only available as a speaker. It's not available as a microphone. So if I want to send the audio from Cubase into this, I can select it too. If I want to select other microphones here, I can also select them. So when you select your microphones, then you can now go inside VST connections to now define which one will enter where, which one will enter where. Input now, for instance, this is microphone USB audio. That's if I want to use from the audio interface. If I want to use from my system, this is that microphone array. Different systems, different computers will have different names for the inbuilt microphone, but you would know which one is the inbuilt microphone and which one. Then this is output. You sort it once you say, like for instance now is on speakers, headphone. That's my system speaker. If I play anything now, to come out from my system speaker. Meanwhile, if I change it to USB speaker, the goodness of Jesus cannot finish from my tongue. Coming out from the audio interface. So that's just simple how to get sound into it. Then if you want to record, once you create your track, depends on what you want. If you are let's say I want to record this my speech now, I'm already putting it in the stereo mode. I can just create a stereo track. Okay, if I bring it in as stereo, I need to check my thing. I need to bring in a stereo bus. All right, I already have the USB audio in. So when I create a stereo track, if I record, okay. All right. Oh, I already stopped it. Okay, give your hands up for the boy with the rap. The rappy, the rappy rap. The rappy, the rappy rap. I'm a rappist, ama, a rappy, a rap. You know, do. All right, so I can see I recorded already. Let me play what I recorded. Give your hands up for the boy with the rap. The rappy, the rappy rap. The rappy, the rappy rap. I'm a rappist, ama, a rappy, a rap. All right, so I don't know if you notice anything from the sound of my recording. Did you notice anything? It's clipping. So because this mic is not necessarily a music recording, it's not made for music, and the quality is not for music. So I'm just using it to speak lightly. So I don't want to set another mic to record. Yes. Okay, so I think that's right about or for getting sound into the device. Yes, the input device. So that's how we record. Then if you have an audio interface that has several channels, like this one that has 16 channels, once you set the device, you can always go to the audio. If you create maybe mono track of 16 tracks, let me create 8 tracks. 8. So once you click on it, you can come here and select the input one you want. Let's say there are 8 tracks on, let's say there are 8 channels on this audio interface. It will list them as long as you have defined them here. So you can also change the name. I can say this is mic 1.
Okay.
I can say this is mic 2. So once you click on it, you press enter, it would highlight the name. I can say this is mic 3. So if you come here, you see mic 1, it will label it the way you labeled it over there. So you can also rename your track. Here you can double click and say this is mic 1. You can double click and say this is mic 2. You can say this is mic 3. So if I want to, let's say I want to assign mic 1 to mic 1, mic 2 to mic 2, I go here, I pick mic 2. I go here, I pick mic 3. But this mic 3 is stereo, so it will ask me whether it's left I want to use or right. If I say left, depending on, so that's just how to get signal into the audio workstation. So we've already spent 33 minutes. I think we can stop for today. So your assignment, still continue to read, go and read again about the frequency spectrum, audio interface. Okay, you did not read about audio interface.
Yes.
Read about audio interface, gain staging. Read deeply about compression, equalization, compression. You already know about gates. Equalization, compression, gain staging, equalization, compression, and audio interfaces. So till the next time we meet,
Yes,
I remain your humble coach, not coach, coach, brother. Yo, I'm your tutor, your humble tutor.
They edit it like they put